guys, welcome back to another video here at the Paper Addict. This is sketch number 7 with She's Crafty's mini paper pad class that I'm not using paper pads on. This is my second layout with this Simple Stories collection, so I will have done both of my quote-unquote required layouts with this collection. I think after this layout is done, I could probably get one more single page layout out of this collection and the kit would be killed. So that's good. I think I will probably go back through what photos I have from last year, see if I have any snow photos, do those photos, and then be able to call this kit finished. I am using my punches. I have a 1-inch, a 1.5, and then I think the other one is 1 3/8. Does that sound right? Yep, 1 3/8. And then I will end up pulling out my close to my heart circle cutter. Oh my gosh, guys, that thing is like 800 years old. And every time I think, okay, I haven't used this in a while, I am going to get rid of it. I end up pulling it back out and using it to cut circles, even if it's for, kids' things for school or, other projects besides scrapbooking. But if you saw my last video, you know that we had about 30 inches of snow back in February, all in a 3 or 4 day period. It actually started on my birthday. And my husband is a Porsche mechanic. They don't close very often for weather. People still need their cars fixed. And he actually came home early once or twice because they couldn't keep up with the roads, and many of the guys live not local to the shop. I know, my husband's about an hour away. So they closed early and sent them all home. But I took these photos because my husband is right between 6'3", 6'4", and you can see in the photos that the snow comes up like right to his pelvis area. It's not quite to his hips, but it's right about his inseam, which is 34, 36, depending on the pants. But I wanted to have that reference in the scrapbook. So this will go with the page I created for the last video. But you see me using my punches here. I knew this layout was going to be a little bit of a challenge for me because circles are not something I normally gravitate to. But since this was in the class, I was doing it. I was going to make it work. But you'll see my video is about 18 minutes, and that's edited. And it's edited. There's no like hemming and hawing around. There's no, points where I sit and do nothing. It just really did take me that long. But it got me out of my comfort zone. I got some photos documented, and there you go. I'm doing some inking here. I think, if I remember correctly, like I said, it's been a while. I think I was using Faded Jeans. Yep, I looked at my little notes. So I have 2 photos. One, I want to say 4x6. I don't remember at this point. And the other I cut square. And then I'm going to pop one up to give some dimension. That's just a craft fun foam from, wherever I can get it. Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, wherever has it. Lately, we've been having lots of problems with getting anything, things that you wouldn't think would be hot items, and not just, craft supplies, spray paint, butane, you know, things you wouldn't think would be difficult to get. But I'm putting it on the spotty paper, re-inking my faded jeans. I use that one a lot, so I have a re-inker for that one. I do not have a re-inker for every ink pad that I have. I know I have one for a pink one because even from the day it came, it was dry, and I have to re-ink it almost every time I use it. So there must be something wrong with the pad on that one. But I kept wanting to use that spotty paper as a background, but it was just too busy for me. And then that one that has all the words, I never know what to do with those because they're words. You know, I can't put them upside down. At least in my brain, I can't. You know, I can't show half a word on the side of a picture. So I used that for just this tiny border around my square. The sketch for this layout did have strips going across the page. That's another thing. I'm not really like, you see the layouts where people use strips across the whole thing and that's all they use? I'm not, again, with the circles, not my thing. So I challenged myself to use the circles, and I didn't mind if I didn't get all the strips in. What I ended up doing was just adding a large piece. There, I'm doing it here, right here on either side. So it looks like it's one big strip across the back. I did use my distress tool to rough up the edges, give that wood grain with the words some interest, and then I did ink them. It's kind of nice because the roughed up edges didn't ink all the way, so it looks almost like little, you have little pieces of white that look almost like snow. So here's me with the circle cutter. I have had this circle cutter since I started scrapbooking. I started scrapbooking before I met my husband. I met my husband in 2003, the very beginning of 2003. So this has to be probably 20 years old by now. So I want to say I started scrapbooking in 2001. But, so I'm arranging my circles, deciding, you know, where I like them and which patterns I want on top of, you know, what. I did overlap some of them. I don't remember if the sketch called for that. I'm sure it did. Because you couldn't have just, I mean, I guess you could have just, you know, circles floating all over the place. So the one thing I did that turned out for me to be very helpful is once I got my circles where I wanted them, rather than lift them up and put ATG on them and then, you know, where exactly did this go, I just kind of lifted up a corner and put my wet glue under there, and then lifted up the other corner and put my wet glue under there so that they all stayed exactly where I wanted them. It was very helpful rather than either having to remember or taking a picture and then trying to recreate it. So, yep. Obviously, I'm going to place my big square down next. That I do use my ATG. That is my go-to adhesive, is the ATG. But tell me what your go-to adhesive is, because that thing is big and clunky. I'm also having trouble getting refills for it. So tell me what your go-to adhesive is. Is it liquid adhesive? Is it, and if it is, which kind? Is it an ATG? Is it some other kind of tape runner? Let me know. I'm always interested in trying out new adhesives. Like, I was a tacky glue, a Scotch tacky glue user until they changed the formula. And then I know some people have great luck with it, but for my area, everything just kept falling off the pages when I used it. So I switched to Nuvo on someone's suggestion, and that's worked really well for me. But now I'm going to try to get some embellishments on this page. I do use, most of the things I put on the page, except for, some sprinkly bits, are from the sticker sheet. And even though, I used a skate. Well, this isn't obviously ice skating, but I thought, okay, it's all snow related, all winter related. The cup or mug, okay, I made them hot cocoa when they came in. Well, probably our son. My husband's more likely to have had tea, but same thing. I put the Like a Boss on there because, man alive, did it take him forever to shovel 30 inches of snow. We do have a snowblower, but of course, the carburetor went out on the snowblower right before we got this snow. Like, we heard the snowstorm was coming. He always goes out and makes sure that, there's gas in the snowblower, that it starts up, and it wouldn't start. So he ordered the carburetor pieces, but obviously they're, not overnight. We were still having postal delays at that point. It actually took about 3 weeks to get the parts to fix the carburetor. So I wanted to use that Like a Boss for him. We actually were very blessed. A lawn care company. We live on a semi-major road. It is a snow emergency route, so the plows come through quite frequently. And he was out there trying to shovel the mound of snow and slush at the end of the driveway. And a lawnscaping guy with a plow on the front of his truck stopped and said, "Hey, let me clear the end of your driveway for you." And my husband, was very appreciative, offered him money. Guy would not take a dime. So we were very blessed by that. My husband's back especially. So now I'm going to start trying to think of a title here. And I end up combining 3 different thickers. Yep, one is foam with like chipboard on top. The other is just chipboard and the other is just foam. So I thought that since it's it was looking relatively plain to me in that area where the title is going, but I really couldn't couldn't decide on what other embellishments to put there, so I decided to mix fonts and create a bigger title to take up that space. Not something I normally do, but I didn't mind it. And I don't mind the way it looks on the layout when all is said and done. But see what I mean? It's not like I'm hemming and hawing, but I feel like this layout just takes forever to get through. I do like it. In the end, I do end up liking it, but I will look back on this one and go, I did not particularly enjoy creating this one. This was also still when I couldn't find my T ruler, if I remember, and I had such a hard time making the letters on the title straight. If you watched my last video, you knew someone borrowed my T ruler for a school project, and then nobody could find it again. I did eventually find it after this layout was complete, and you guys, you're gonna laugh. My son does school in his room or at the kitchen table, depending on, what he's working on or if he wants help. And my scrapbook area is in our finished basement. Underneath our steps for the finished basement, we have hooks because our son played hockey. And my husband takes them ice skating semi-frequently in the winter when the outdoor rink is open. And I don't know if any of you guys have hockey players in your family, but let me tell you, if that equipment doesn't dry out appropriately, it smells even more nasty than regular boy sports equipment. I found my tea ruler in with the hockey stuff underneath the stairs. Like, why? Why was it there? But yeah, I have it for my next layout, thank goodness. So I'm down to the last little bits here, guys. I'm going to put some Nuvo on here in liquid mercury. It's a metallic gray. The lime is gloss apple green, and that matches the lime green that is in the paper collection. And then I am going to put some, I think it was white. Yep, Simply White. I didn't remember if I used the Simply White or the Morning Dew that dries clear, as well as some sequins. And then I do, as the last little thing, I sprinkle some of my Dilutions white linen ink, so it's almost like snowflakes falling on the page. But thanks for sticking with me through this one, guys. I'm sorry it's such a long video, and it took me so long to get it up. Tell me what you would have done with the circles. And I haven't actually scrapbooked since this layout was made, so I'm hoping to get to sketch number 8 soon. I do have the paper collection out and the photos printed, so cross your fingers for me, guys, that I find time. If you want to go down in the description box below, I'll have a link to Shannon's channel, and I will have links to all my other, places you can find me, as well as links, affiliate links to some of these products if I can find them for you. They add no additional cost to you, but do help me in supporting this channel. So if you choose to use them, I appreciate that. If not, no pressure. I'm still glad you're here. I'm still glad you're watching. I love your comments. And like I said, I hope to be back soon. Tell me what you're up to, guys. Get me motivated to get back to my desk and find some time to do some scrapbook creating, since I'm doing so much glitter creating. Thanks again, guys. See you soon. Bye.